Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier, and today I wanted to take a stab at a question which I feel hasn't really been answered, or at least isn't very clear. This type of video is labor intensive in research and cross-checking some facts. If you like it and got something out of the discussion, can you please consider posting it up in Discord to generate more discussion and get the subject some light? Let's begin. As the game development evolves, we seem to be getting further and further away from what the original backers were pitched in 2013. That's fine, as evolution's actually what we asked for. Chris Roberts laid out his vision for what's known as permadeath in a document called The Death of a Spaceman. That set out a series of codependent mechanics which will create some sense of tension. The plan was and still is to have player death have meaning. Some games have a completely brutal and unforgiving system where you lose it all when you die. And some games like Call of Duty have actually no impact on death other than a reduced KDR and a loss of a ticket. I have the original documents linked in the description. I also have links to my job series video on medical gameplay as part of the job series that was updated in 2018. Very little's actually been said beyond 2013 specifically about permadeath. We did inadvertently get some information on a second document called Healing Your Spaceman, and of course the Apollo concept last year. The current plan is still to have you live out your life in Squadron 42, which is your early life, and then start your life in the universe. You don't need to complete Squadron 42 to enjoy the PU. However, it's likely that there'll be some perks for those who do. When you create your character, we still expect to require a named beneficiary. That second character is the character you'll play once you finally run out of luck or take so much damage that the medical gameplay can't help you. It's the future, and we expect medical miracles are very common. Cybernetics will be able to rehabilitate with the cost of credits, and then you need to deal with the risk of EMP interfering with your limbs. In essence, the rule of 9 lives is how it was presented. You keep taking damage until eventually there's nothing to bring back. This is permadeath in Star Citizen, and why we have ejection seats and so much efforts being placed in medical gameplay. These mechanics, when fleshed out, are going to be there to reduce the brutal impact of death against our enjoyment of the game. When you finally die, that's it. Your character shifts over to your beneficiary, who inherits whatever you own. With your assets, you get most of the reputation to prevent a total loss. And this also prevents a very lawless player from being able to simply clean slate after a long string of very bad behavior. So far it sounds pretty good. The game has the desired tension, the medical players have a wide set of mechanics plus a real reason to play, and the player can carry on if they mess up or get jumped. There are many different scenarios, however I've chosen 3 tonight to highlight my concerns. Massive one-shot single trauma, death because of an incident when logged out, and of course, racing, which in a permadeath universe can simply be seen as suicide. Situations such as headshots from a sniper, aerial bombardment, or a player receiving main weapon fire from a ship is surely going to insta-kill a player. Fun and funny for the player doing the killing, but impossible to defend against. And we all know that no matter what happens, the legal system's not going to prevent people from doing this. Some people just want to see the world burn. And if you put these mechanics in game, you can't ban them because they're actually not doing anything wrong. As we already have one-shot kill weapons in game, I don't actually know how long some players would continue to play if they were getting one-shotted just minding their own business. This has a lot to do with the TTK, which is very easy to explain in a ship with shields and armor, but not so much with a tiny person in a tiny suit. The second situation is a total loss of a ship that you happen to have bunked out of for the night. What should our sleepy time chance of survival be if the core breaches because someone decides to torpedo your bed? Do you just automatically wake up in a medbay somewhere? Or is it really just like a roll of the dice to see how lucky you were? The third one is basically suicide, and by that I mean racing. Racing offers a truly interesting issue because it's not a question of if, but when it kills you. Currently, regular races kill even the best pilots in Arena Commander. Scramble races are going to escalate the risk because you add weapons that are actively trying to kill players. Those of you that know me know that I don't rant. My question today is simply, what will break first? The members of the org that I'm part of have been talking about this, and so far we haven't come up with a good solution. Will we simply accept that death is very common and thus defeat the original tension? Or will we play and avoid risk, missing out on major parts of the developing game? Neither of those are a good option. If I wanted to be a racer, should I just disregard death and accept that I'm on my 50th character for tonight? It's easy to explain all this in Arena Commander and Star Marine. These are simulations within a game. You can die as often as you like, but after persistence, why would anyone risk player death to win a scramble race? That race would need to pay out a lottery's worth of prize just to be considered worth the risk, and thus opening up an exploit. Just enter the race with a group of friends, not kill each other, complete the course, and the winner shares the prize. With Permadeath, it's either that or CIG wasted all their time making game mechanics that aren't worth the risk. I don't envy CIG at all. The current development team has inherited a bunch of promises and documents that are going to complicate and confuse the future mechanics. And with that, I'm done, and I need your help. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject from both the perspective of the casual player and the hardcore. Thank you very much for spending your time with me, and I hope that you liked my alternative approach to the issue associated with permadeath. Please pass the discussion around, as we as a community might actually come up with a solution. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.